There are lots of places to go, like a big city scenery like Tokyo, Osaka, and also traditional temples and serene gardens in Kyoto, and also nature factors of Japan, like Mount Fuji, hot springs. So you might come up with a full list of the places to go, like a long receipt. How do I put all of these in the itinerary? And it can take so much time of you to plan. And also another issue coming is probably you've heard of that Japan has over tourism, and you might wonder if you should follow the golden path everyone takes, or is it better to find a off the beaten path? In this video, I came up with a blueprint of my golden route idea for 7 days. So I put all the major spots in this itinerary so you don't miss a thing, but also have some off the beaten spot near the top spot. And also I put importance on the easiness of handling luggage, so you don't have to walk around long distance with big suitcases without using delivery service or coin lockers. As I travel myself in Japan a lot, I focus on reducing a little stress that can affect big during the travel. In case you really don't have time to plan for Japan, you can just follow it as it is. I put sample hotels where you can get a ticket. I put everything in this itinerary. And so that you can see in the written form, I put in the website, tokyokenchan.com. I have and I usually don't use much. Only this page is available, so you don't have to look around much. But go back and see, and maybe you can print out and change to your own way. So let's start from the day one. So day one can be very different, depends on what time you arrive at the airport. But let's say you arrive at Narita Airport around 2 p.m. And now it's time to go to the city center. And let's say from Narita Airport, let's take 314 Narita Express. Which train to take and where you get off in Tokyo is very different, depends on where you stay in Tokyo. And in this itinerary, let's stay at the Shinbashi's Hotel Blossom as a sample. I've stayed in this hotel and it's a really good middle class hotel. So to go there, you need to get off at the Shinbashi station. And it's in a few minutes walk from station. You arrive at this Blossom Hibiya Hotel. And this day, probably you're very tired from the long travel and jet lag, so let's eat something really easy nearby as a hotel. There's a Otoya under the Sotetsu Fresh Hotel right in front of the Hotel Blossom. And I put all of these map in the tokyokenchan.com. In case you use this in Arrive Tokyo, you can just open it and you can see where you are on the GPS and where the store is. So Otoya is a typical chain restaurant of Japanese food, really easy and good. You don't have to feel intimidated. And usually they have an English menu and you can pay by credit card. With 1,500 yen, usually you can get a good dinner. Maybe this is too detailed and it's not like you have to follow this order. Of course, you can change as you like. This day, some people travel to other cities directly on this day, but I feel it's a little bit risky in case airplane delays. And also, especially when you come to Tokyo for the first time, probably you are overwhelmed by Tokyo. And that is such a precious feeling when you see something really different that you haven't seen. Kind of amazing how different things are. And something really special moment, a little by little fade away as you stay in Japan. So to take advantage of that kind of fresh feeling, I recommend to just walk out a little bit and explore the city, go to convenience stores, and enjoy the first night of Tokyo. Either at the Shinbashi station or at the night airport, I recommend to get the IC card. Later in this itinerary, use IC card many times, and probably you can get something like 3,000 yen or 5,000 yen, which means 500 yen deposit. So in case you get 3,000 yen, 2,500 yen you can use. And day 2 is a full day of Tokyo. This is the only full day in Tokyo you have. Let's eat at the hotel breakfast at around 7:30. And this day, I chose Ueno as a place to go first in the morning. Here, you can see Toshogu temples, kind of Bentendo and Shinomazuke Pond, and Tokyo National Museum is also here. And you can walk and go to the north towards Yanaka, quiet residential area of Tokyo. You can walk towards Yanaka Ginza Street and Nippori Station. If this is too much walk, you can go down to the other side to Okachimachi side. And this side is really different from the north side. It will be very busy, packed, but it's more vivid, and for some travelers, it might be a good idea. For lunch, if you have energy, you can go to Tsukiji. There, you can find a lunch place, find some street food or the seafood. if you are still full or you are not the person who eats lots of lunch, you can come back to Shimbashi and go back to your room and take a rest because you did enough walking in Ueno. Either you stay in the hotel or went to Tsukiji at 2 p.m. And let's take Yurikamome. This is an elevated automated system train and it has a nice view of Tokyo. So this is kind of the attraction of Tokyo and take you to Daiba. And near Daiba, you can see the beautiful view of the Tokyo Bay and Gundam statue. If you are tired, you can take a rest at this food court right in front of Gundam statue. On the first floor, there are lots of Japanese food court like takoyaki, ramen. And here you have about 1 hour, and at 3:10 o'clock, there is a ferry leaving for Asakusa. This is not running frequently, so it's better either to make online reservation or when you arrive Daiba, maybe go to the pier first and purchase ticket. Probably better to make online reservation. So now let's take the Tokyo cruise to Asakusa. And this will be one of the highlights of this day. You can just sit, relax, and see the scenery of Tokyo. And in about 1 hour, you start to see Tokyo Skytree and you arrive at Asakusa. And here, let's enjoy the Sensoji Temple and famous Nakamise Street. Lots of souvenir shop and crowd. And later, we go to Tokyo Skytree, but in case you like to see the sunset or twilight time, in winter time, we might want to go to Tokyo Skytree first and come back to Asakusa later. But later when you come back, all the stores and souvenir shops are closed already. After your dinner, let's go to the Tokyo Skytree, and it's only one session to Tokyo Skytree. You can also walk to Tokyo Skytree by the bridge called Tokyo Mizumachi and along the canal. It's a nice street to walk along. After that, you can go to Oshiage Station, which is connected to Tokyo Skytree, and take Asakusa Line direct back to Shimbashi Station. And day 3 is the day to go to see the nature. And this time, I chose Hakone. So the popular way to go to Hakone is actually taking Odakyu's Romance Car from Shinjuku. But this day, let's take Shinkansen to Odawara as we are closer to Tokyo Station. You can take the train to Hakone Imoto Station and head towards to Hakone Mountain Railway to Gora Station. And you can check in your luggage at the hotel and you can start your day in Hakone. You might want to make sure to get Hakone Free Pass, which is 5,000 yen from Odawara Station. And choosing the hotel in Hakone is difficult. One idea I came up is a Hotel Indigo in Gora. This one has a shuttle bus from Odawara Station. So you get off the Shinkansen and you can take this 10 o'clock hotel shuttle bus. So it takes about 40 minutes to the hotel in Gora. And after that, you can just head out to the sightseeing. And another idea is staying at this Gora Kansuiro, which is a traditional Japanese ryokan. And the review by Japanese people tends to be lower, like it's very old, too old. But review from the tourists are really good. From international travelers are really good. So it means it's more real Japan experience, the ryokan experience with Japanese room. So this depends on your favor. If it's too intimidating to stay at the Kansuiro, you can go to the Hotel Indigo. There are many hot springs hotel. And this Indigo hotel has a private onsen in your room by the balcony. And there are so many hotels that has a private bath by the balcony recently, but many of them are just a hot water and not hot springs. But this Indigo Hotel by Intercontinental Group has a hot springs in each room. So this is a great benefit of the hotel. So after you leave your luggage at the Gora's hotel, let's explore Hakone cable car, Hakone ropeway. You can see the kind of Owakudani Valley with lots of volcano steam. And in the good weather, you can see Mount Fuji from there. You might want to make sure to go back to the hotel by 4 o'clock, especially when you are including 2 meals in the hotel. If you have the different flavor of the food, maybe it's better not to, but if you are open to try Japanese food, this will be the most important part of the ryokan experience. So I think it's good to have that dinner and breakfast included in your plan. It's a day going to Kyoto finally. So let's eat the breakfast at the hotel in the really nice, beautiful area of the Hakone. And now let's go down to the Odawara Station. Odawara Station, they have the local Shinkansen, but every 2 hours, Hikari, which is a faster one, stops. So let's take that. And this one, probably it's better to make reservation. For this, you can make reservation on the Smart EX site of JR Central or Klook or Japan Bullet Train or those agency site too. This was probably the most difficult decision to make the hotel decision of the where to stay in Kyoto. Near the Kyoto station is really good to handling the luggage, and city center has more atmosphere. And I usually stay in city center, but this guide is I try to make it easy for anyone, like first time to go to foreign country or seniors. So this time I decided to do Hotel Granvia right above the station. Once you arrive at the station, you can leave the luggage at the hotel, and let's take the JR Nara line to Inari station. It takes only 5 minutes from Kyoto station, and right in front of the Inari station, you see the red torii gates continuing to above the mountain. In Fushimi Inari, it can be very busy. If you are tired, you can skip this Inari part. And after that, let's go to the Keihan's Fushimi Inari station and go to Gion Shijo station. And this is a private railway, and I put on this itinerary on the website penguin mark. And this penguin mark means you can use Suica, actually. And so you should still have the Suica balance if you don't use too much for the buying drink or at the convenience stores. But you can charge anytime at any station. You arrive Gion Shijo, and finally, probably you feel like you came to Kyoto because there's an open view of the Kamogawa River, and you see the old building along the rivers. And it's a beautiful, beautiful places that you feel so much more Kyoto-ness. And here, let's enjoy strolling around the area. In winter, it might be already dark, but if you stay around Gion, Yasaka Shrine, along Gion Shirakawa, you might find a really nice hidden spot that is very aesthetic. And for dinner, you can have a nice kaiseki cuisine of Kyoto, and also you can get a more casual dining with like a takoyaki too. Where I went, like a Kurobe in the near Pontocho, was very fun. This travel guide I update time to time when in case I go to the new store. And also, if you know any good stores, please comment in the below. Now, day 5. This is a full day in Kyoto, but there's also option of going to Osaka. In the morning of day 5, let's go to Kiyomizu Temple. And Kiyomizu Temple, or those areas, has a lot of traditional buildings and traditional looking streets, and also the famous pagoda, and it can be very busy in daytime. Maybe you can go in the morning, and you can have so much more better time there. In this day, in case you stay at the Kyoto station, you can take the Kyoto's city bus number 206 from the bus stop D in front of Karasuma exit. And this one takes you to Gojozaka. From there, you can walk up the hill. And it takes about 15 minutes from Kyoto station to this Gojozaka. And you can use Suica. If you have the hotel breakfast, you can come back to the hotel after that. But in case that sounds a little bothering, and there's a famous Starbucks in Ninenzaka, and they are opening from 8 a.m. So you can grab some coffee and bread there too. After that, let's explore this Higashiyama area, which is a very beautiful part of Kyoto. There's a famous shrine like Chioin Temple, Heian Jingu, Nanzenji Temple. The little path called Tetsugaku no Michi continue to the Ginkakuji Temple. This will be a long walk from the morning, so after lunch, maybe you can go back to your hotel and take a rest, especially in midsummer. Your travel still continue, and you might want to avoid to get too tired. And when you have energy, you can enjoy things or scenery so much more. And after this, either you relax in Kyoto and go to your favorite places you like to see, like Golden Pavilion. And I also prepared a plan going to Osaka. And Osaka is definitely a great city, but in this plan, I don't push it into the schedule, but you are there and only 1 hour away from the Osaka. So if you are curious about Osaka, if you like to see even for a few hours, if you stay near the JR Kyoto station, you can take JR train to Osaka station. It's only like 30 minutes. And from there, you can take Osaka Metro Midosuji line to Namba, where there's a Dotonbori and famous river cruise. So that is, if you are interested in eating takoyaki and seeing more vivid town of Osaka, you can try this option Train usually lands almost close to the midnight. As long as you don't miss the last train, you can come back to Kyoto. Now it's day 6 and one day before you leave Japan. And still, let's see full of Kyoto. And there's still one place that's a very popular part of Kyoto, but we haven't seen yet, and that is Arashiyama. From Kyoto station, let's check out and leave the luggage in the hotel, and let's head to the Saga Arashiyama station by Sagano Line. If you take 816 Kyoto train, you arrive Saga Arashiyama 8:34, and you can take the first Toroko train. And this one do round trip, come back to Saga Arashiyama station, but you can get off at one station before the Toroko Arashiyama, so you can save a lot of walking to explore Arashiyama. Right there, there's a Joja Koji temple, which is known for the autumn leaves, but also beautiful for the fresh green leaves in early summer. Throughout the year, it's a beautiful temple to visit, and you can have a nice view overlooking Kyoto. After that, you can walk through the bamboo forest towards Tenryuji, and also you can walk through the Arashiyama Park and go to the observatory that you can overlook the Hozugawa River. After going down to the river, you will see Togetsukyo Bridge, which is a symbol of Arashiyama. It's a walkable area, so you can complete in 2 hours and 30 minutes. But it can be very busy, so you might want to be careful not to miss the train, go back to Kyoto. In case you like to see other places, I prepared an option to go to Nara to see deers. Nara is about 35 minutes away from Kyoto, and you have about 3 hours and 30 minutes in this plan. Nara is also a walkable place, and you can see enough before you go back to Tokyo. And you can take 1:30 Shinkansen Nozomi to Tokyo. So you have the 3 train ride of Shinkansen in this trip, from Tokyo to Odawara, Odawara to Kyoto, and Kyoto to Tokyo. But only the first part of Kodama from Tokyo to Odawara is I chose non-reserved seat. To get on this train, let's buy the lunchbox. This day, I booked a hotel in Shinjuku, near Shinjuku Station, the area you didn't see in this itinerary yet. After you arrive at Tokyo Station, you can take JR Chuo Line and go to Shinjuku Station. Today, I have the Century Southern Tower near New South Exit. It's about 3 to 5 minutes walk on pedestrian deck, so you don't have to worry about the car, and it's very easy walkable place. So you can check in at 4:30 p.m. and once you get to the room, you can take a rest or you can start exploring the city, because probably this day will be the last day to do shopping. And next day, many stores are open at 11 a.m. or so. After you check out the hotel, it's kind of difficult to open the suitcases. And Shinjuku has a lot of stores like Don Quixote, Uniqlo's flagship store, department store like Isetan. There are lots of places to purchase. If you don't have shopping to do, you can go to Kabukicho and you can see the famous Godzilla statue on the building. You can see the Kabukicho Tokyo Tower. And also, you might not want to miss the Omoide Yokocho, the little drinking alleys, and the Golden Gai, and Hanazono Shrine. There's the LGBT towns, and there's also Korean town. Shinjuku is very diversified towns, and you can enjoy the last time in Tokyo before you leave Japan next day. And day 7 is finally the day you're leaving Japan. I hope you enjoyed your trip by this time. And in the morning, maybe you can walk to Meiji Shrine. Meiji Shrine is walking distance from this Century Southern Tower. It's about 10-15 minutes walk, and you can arrive the big forest of the Meiji Jingu Shrine. It's really nice air there, so I recommend you to go there before the breakfast time. And go back to the hotel, eat breakfast. If you like to explore more of Shinjuku, there are several choices. You can go to the Tokyo Metropolitan Buildings, Observatory, you can go to Shinjuku Gyoen National Garden, and if you don't want to eat the breakfast at the hotel, you can also stroll Harajuku or Montesando area too. And now it's time to leave. There's a night express leaving Shinjuku 11:38, and this arrives night airport 12:58. And in case you use the Haneda Airport, there's a direct bus from Shinjuku bus terminal right above the new south exit of Shinjuku Station. So this is all of the 7 days itinerary. Thank you for watching. Again, this is a just a blueprint with my ideas. You can arrange as you like, depending on your budget, favor, and length of a trip. This whole itinerary, if you like to see more in details, or if you want to follow this itinerary, put a link to my site, tokyokenchan.com. That page I like to update as I find a new store or new things. And again, this site is still under construction and only that page is available right now. So you don't really have to look around, but some pages are available. So thank you for watching. If you have any ideas, a good restaurant, good hotels you stayed, or better itinerary, please let me know in the comments. Have a great trip to Japan. Have a great week until the next video.